Hi friends, it's Fumblin, and today we have a very special Tier List Tuesdays. With this one, we're going to be ranking alternate costumes. Yes, every character in the game as of December 2nd update got one alternate costume available for them. So we're going to go through each character since they all have one, and we're just going to go ahead and rank how we like them personally, which ones I would spend money on, which ones I wouldn't have made or would have done differently. We're going to discuss them all together here, and it's going to be a fun time. So first up, we're going to be ranking SpongeBob and Patrick. Now, SpongeBob, I think, is an excellent skin that is actually worth money, and I would totally spend money on this. He was number one. If you understand the reference, this is awesome. And even if you don't understand the reference, I mean, it's SpongeBob with a soda hat. It just is, it looks goofy. It changes enough of how he looks to actually make it, I think, worth a lot. And SpongeBob, you can pretty much do whatever you want with SpongeBob, and people are going to understand the reference. I mean, I know not everybody watches SpongeBob, but it's big enough where you can pretty much, there's a lot of options they could have done, and I think that this was a great one. Patrick, although I just said that if it's SpongeBob, it's good, it's not always true. I think Patrick's is okay. The reference is the Dirty Dan, which is pretty cool, but if you actually go back and watch the Dirty Dan scene like I did, the hat is not exactly the same. And if you don't really know or just don't care about the reference, it's just a really awkward look for Patrick. He's just not really shout like cowboy to me. If anything, this should have been like a Sandy hat. I understand it's supposed to be the reference, but it just looks odd, you know? Like SpongeBob matches his character, while the hat on Patrick just doesn't, in my opinion. And next up, we have Sandy and Aang. Now, Sandy's outfit, as somebody who does understand this reference, I think it's amazing. But even if you don't, it changes her entire aesthetic. She has a jersey. I think that the sweatband on her helmet is actually hilarious. I thought it was funny in the show when I saw it, and I think it's hilarious here because she's just putting it on glass, right? But it's fantastic. I think that it changes her look enough to where you're never gonna get confused if you're playing two Sandys, for one, and for two, it changes enough to where I feel like if you're using the skin, it does add a lot of personality to her and says maybe something about you that people can, you know, you can kind of have a skin relate to you. And I think that, you know, this, I mean, it's sporty. It definitely has a vibe that no other skin in the game has, so I do think it's good. And then Aang's, I put Aang's down here in the TF2 hat tier, and you're gonna see a common trend with the TF2 hat is that basically I don't like many of the skins that just adds a hat, and it's a lot of the skins. I don't know if it's a copyright issue or something, but there's a lot of skins that just add a hat, and it's just, I mean, look, I just watched Avatar, the entire Airbender series, and I know where this came from. Like, he does wear this hat a couple times, and like, I get the reference, but it doesn't make it good, you know? Like, even if you understand the reference, even if it's nostalgic, doesn't always make a skin good. I would have liked to seen a recolor. I would have liked to seen a brand new outfit, like Fire Nation outfit, something, you know, anything than just here's Aang with one of his hats that he touched in the show. It just doesn't do it for me, you know. Next up, we're going to look at the rest of the Avatar characters, Toph and Korra. Now, I think these skins are how skins should be. These are good examples of what I like out of skins. So Toph, you give her the whole Earth Nation hat with the little cloak around her. She actually looks really good in this, although I don't quite remember her ever wearing this in the show. If you watch the show, like, you understand this, and that's just really good. As long as it's a reference to something in the show, it definitely is awesome. I'm pretty sure all these skins are referenced in the show. I won't know all of them. I'm just saying I haven't watched all these shows as much as some other players might have out there, so I won't get all the references, but the ones I do get, I do appreciate, and this is one I do appreciate. Even if I don't think ever wore it, it suits her. It's her nation. I like it. Next up is Korra's. Now, a lot of people are going to complain about Korra's. The fact that it looks pretty similar to how her default costume looks. And yeah, these are both of the skins side by side. You can see that there are minor differences. The hint of blue is a bit darker, and the sleeves are a lot different. but other than that, it's pretty much the same, which is why it's gonna be like the lower of mid tier in this. My house skin should be as kind of like my mid tier in this, and I don't watch Korra myself personally, but I have had people in my chat tell me that that is season 2 Korra. So I like that they're referencing season 2. I think that's huge, and although the skin isn't that different, I like it. I just don't think it should have been their first skin, possibly, because these two right next to each other do look so similar that if you were in a 1v1 with Korra, it would be hard to tell what's going on. And that's the only issue I have with it. Otherwise, even minor changes can be good, and I think they nailed this one. So here we have Zim and Lincoln Loud. And Zim, immediately, I don't even have to explain it, but I'll do my best. Zim is the best skin in the game for me. I love Zim. Invader Zim was the show that I honestly was most hyped to see represented in this game. I think Zim is hilarious. But enough about Zim. Let's talk about the costume. So if you actually watch the show, even one episode, you probably do know that Zim oftentimes would put on these contact lenses that look like human eyes and put on some hair, I don't know, have a wig or something. And he would go to school like this, and that would be his boy outfit. So this is really nice. I do love that they included this. I have one complaint about it, and you can see barely in the back here, especially if you go into light here, you can see that Zim's antennas are still visible. They're kind of like, I don't know, they're transparent. I don't think they're supposed to be there. I hope they fix this, because in the show, he doesn't have the antennas in the back of his head like that with his boy outfit, so that's the only thing I have against it. But otherwise, I'm super glad that it's in the game, and just as an excellent touch, we don't have the dog Gur. I really was hoping for dog Gur, but we did get the attack mode Gur, which is this red hue on Gur's eyes here instead of the blue. That's when Gur goes into like, sir, yes, sir, and starts like doing actually like listening to Zim and doing like attack. It's attack mode for a reason. But like most of the time, they're just the goofy blue gumball that we know. So I do love that this is that's a really nice reference. Hopefully we get like the dog suit Gur later on in another costume maybe, but that's excellent. And then we have Lincoln Loud here, who I've not watched a lot of Loud House, but I do like the way that the beanie looks. It's gonna be in the TF2 hat tier because it is just a hat, and I already said I don't quite like skins that are just hats unless there's very good reason for it. And with just being a beanie, I don't really, even though I don't understand the reference, I don't think it's that exciting. Next up, we have Lucy Loud rocking those shades, and Leonardo over there. You might not be able to tell it's Leonardo because you can't see the colors. We'll go into him in a minute, but Lucy, I think it's awesome and funny that Lucy has these big doofy glasses, especially when like her character would never want to wear that. I don't know the reference, but whatever it is probably hilarious because this is just not her aesthetic at all, which makes it a fun, goofy skin. So I actually do like it. I do enjoy it. So it's gonna be on the higher end of the TF2 hat list, but again, the giant flaw of this is it's just a hat. I would have loved to seen new hair color, new outfit color, new sock color, new skin color. I don't care, anything, right? They just put glasses on her and it's called it a day, which is fine. I mean, these are free skins. I'm hoping down the road that skins become a little bit more involved if you do have to pay for them, but I'll just say it's an okay free skin for now. And then Leonardo here has, I think it's supposed to just be comic book textures. It's just white, which I'm not gonna lie, I think is awful. I put them in the wrong tier, didn't I? I did a little oopsie on the tier list, and I put Lucy and Lincoln on missing textures. I realized that because they're not supposed to be there. Leonardo's supposed to be there. To me, it just, like, I know that they're supposed to be referencing, like, the comic books or something, but the turtles without color is so bad because, like, the only way you can tell the turtles apart is their headbands and knee pads. Without that, they're just the same, especially with the design that they chose, and I don't like it. I think this is an awful skin. I understand that some people might be appealed to it, to the old school style, but I think it doesn't fit this game at all. This game is so bright and colorful. Nickelodeon is so bright and colorful. Their turtles are so bright and colorful, and they just remove it. They just strip them from their textures, and it just looks terrible. I'm giving it its own tier, missing textures tier, and I think you can guess who comes next. Yeah. Mikey came next. Mikey is the same. Everything I just said about Leonardo completely applies to Mikey, but what makes it worse is that Leo and Mikey are both in this game. It's not just one turtle. If it was just one turtle, I could maybe let it slide, but the fact that two turtles are in this game and they have the same exact skin, and like if you're fighting like one-on-one with Leo versus Mikey, it's just gonna be two white blobs fighting each other. I just think it's awful. They're both down here at the bottom, so I don't really have much more to say about that. I already explained a lot of it with Leonardo. Most of that transfers over. And then you have April's skin, who I think it's how skins should be. I'm actually gonna put it below Korra because I personally think that these colors look ugly together, especially I know lemon lime is a lot of people's favorite kind of combination. For me, it's not. I don't like this yellow. I don't like this green. I think it looks pretty bad even together, even though they're pretty complementary colors as far as I'm aware. Just doesn't look great. Although I do like what they did with the skin. They took her colors and they just flipped them to something else. They took yellow and they made it green. And I like that. I want more characters with skins like that, where they actually come out and they say, let's change how this character looks entirely. I like those, except for when they remove all the color from the turtles. That's bad. But when they add color, it's great. And that's what they did with April. I just think that the color combination is pretty awful, personally. But that's my opinion. It is still in the how skins should be tier though. Next up we have Ren and Snippy. Right in time for the holidays, they are getting ready for, I don't know what it's called in their show, but they're getting ready for Christmas. And it covers their little tiny hairs that they have, which personally I think is, I mean, it fits the character, but the little tiny like 1 or 2 hairs they have on their head, I can go without. So I like that I have the Santa hat to cover that up right now. It might be a little weird in the future when you are, you know, playing in Halloween or playing in 4th of July and you have the Christmas hat, but I do think it looks cute. I think that it looks really good, especially with how much red are on these characters. The red Santa hats do look pretty nice, so I'm gonna put it in the TF2 tier because it is just a hat. Once again, they didn't do enough. I want to see Ren's colors swapping with Snippy's colors, something crazy. I want his big blue nose. Just make it green. And it doesn't have to just be color swaps. It can be costumes. Like if they would have gave them full Santa outfits, or like even better, if Snippy was dressed up as a reindeer or something, that would have been S tier, but it's not. It's just 2 hats, and I can't give that a higher ranking than just upper low tier. So I'm putting it right here. I'm putting it higher than Lucy's because it's in time for the holidays. That's the only real reason. It's good thematically with the time of year it is, but again, it's gonna eventually drop off when it's no longer Christmas. So I hope they do continue this trend of adding new skins for new holidays. It's pretty good. And then Powder Toast Fans is a solid S tier. How can you not look at this body and look at this freaking the pectorals right now and look at this and say this is a bad skin? No, the skin is amazing. The skin is beautiful. It's and if you want to sit here and say that it's skin suit that is not actually his naked body, then you're wrong. You're wrong. Oh, he doesn't have nipples. Guess what? He doesn't need nipples. He's a real man. Look at him. Look at his ass. Oh, I love it. I don't know. I think it's fucking hilarious that I can't play with this controller. I think it's hilarious that they added a skin that is basically no skin. He's in his whitey tighties. It's fucking hilarious. It just fits his character so much. I don't know if it's a reference in the show. I'm assuming it is, but it's awesome, and you can't say no to that body. Look at this. This is a hell of a man right here. If you're not putting this S tier, you're messing up. Now let's talk about Cat Dog and Reptar. First up, Cat Dog. It's another TF2 hat. We got to put it in the TF2 hat tier. I'm going to put it in the bottom though, because I just don't. It's just party hats. They went to Party City and they just bought 2 freaking party hats because of somebody's birthday. I don't understand it. I don't know why they would think that they should add a skin like this instead of like this up special. Imagine it real quick. This is an example of a skin that I would want in this game. Imagine if this was a skin. That would be good. I mean, those are very creative hats with the scarf and the gloves. You change a lot more than just, here's some party hats. The one thing I will say is I appreciate that when they went to Party City that they both got different types of hats, because if they had the same color hat, I'd be even more upset. So at least they have different color hats, so you can tell them apart a little bit, but it's just not good enough. It's just TF2 hat again. I'm sorry, I don't like it that much. And then Reptar, this is what I'm wanting. Look at this big meaty Reptar. He is styling with this purple. He is how skins should be. He looks so good in this purple. On top of that, they changed everything about him. They changed his entire aesthetic with this purple. He went from green to purple, which are contrasting colors, and that's what you want to see. You want to see it mixed up. You want to select a skin, and you want to feel that it's different, right, than the original. So this, I love this. I think this is great. This is what they need to do for a lot of skins. And to even go above and beyond, like have different colors, big costumes, like Halloween outfits. Like right now is like if CatDog, imagine if CatDog walked up to a old lady's house, knocked on the door, said trick or treat, they would get no fucking candy. They get no candy. They weren't just party hats from Party City. They would get no candy. So Reptar would get candy. Look at him. Purple tongue, purple skin. He's ready to go. Next up, we have Nigel Thornberry and Helga. Now, Nigel is wearing his classic explorer's hat. He does wear this in the show quite a bit. I think it looks good on him. I do like it, but it's just a hat. It's just a hat. It's not a costume. I want to see costumes. I want to see alternates. I don't want to see a hat. Now, if I had to give him a hat, I think this is an excellent S-tier choice for a hat, but at the end of the day, it is not that special. We're gonna put it higher up. I think it looks pretty good on him. It's not quite as goofy and silly as the top two here, but it is pretty good. So it is just a hat, but it's a good one. I will say that. Helga is an awesome skin. This is exactly what you want to see. This is like if Ren and Snippy's Christmas skin had a costume and then some. This is awesome. We're putting this at S tier. This is my second favorite skin in this game. I like Invader Zim too much to not put Invader Zim number one, but this is one that I don't really understand the reference. I don't even know if there is a reference in the show, and I still love this. Like there's no nostalgia feature. There's nothing. It's just, this is a fantastic skin. Whether or not it's Christmas time, this is still a great skin. And just the fact that it is Christmas time, I'm definitely using this. The mistletoe on the top, because she's in love with Arnold, is actually perfection. It is perfection. This is what a skin should be. It changed the entire outfit, add something new to it like the mistletoe, and you got an S tier skin. Fantastic. All right, so last up we have Danny and Ablina. Danny looking clean with this outfit. It is an inverse, I should say, of his other outfit when he is in ghost mode. This is before he actually is capable of turning ghost. You'll see in his theme song when he goes into the ghost machine, he hits on and gets shocked. Right before that, he's actually wearing this outfit. And I really like this outfit for that purpose, that it is a really nice reference, but also just the colors look really great inverted here. He's got the black hair like he has when he's in his, regular mode, and I like how it actually changes the entire outfit. It doesn't just give him a little bit on his tip of his head. It doesn't just change his shoes. It changes everything, so I love it a lot for that. So all that said, I'm gonna go ahead and place Danny at an S tier. Think he's third favorite for me. And then there's Ablina, who has this snorkel outfit. It's humorous. It's a decent reference, I believe, because I think they swim in the dumpster, or like they come out of the toilet or something. So it's funny for that, but for the most part, it is just something they slapped on her face. It is just a hat. So we're gonna put it in the TF2 hat tier, but I do like this one a lot because it changes the way she looks a good amount, and it also, like I said, it is a bit funny. So, in my Nickelodeon game, I want to see some, I want to see something that's gonna make me giggle, and I think this one's pretty good. That's gonna be my whole list, friends. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate being here, every single one of you. Leave in the comments what your favorite skins are, or what you might agree or disagree with. Just have a conversation. I love to talk to you guys in the chat. So thank you so much, and I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you next week for another one.